What's the word, y'all? It's Double R the God tapping in with y'all. This is the 6th episode of the Wave Podcast. I'm here with another very special guest, behavior specialist, strength and conditioning coach, personal trainer, man. This is somebody who's very important to me. This is actually my older brother. He's a very inspirational person. He's a big part of the reason why I go as hard with everything that I do, the way that I do. He is actually the first person who introduced me into working out and has been somebody that has been someone there to help cultivate my character and just help me with my art form. And I'm gonna tell y'all about a story of something that happened with me. So when I was like about 14, I had tried out for the football team, got onto the football team and everything. And I was doing my first couple of games where I had to be the water boy. So this was my last game where I had to be the water boy. I had my whole family out. He was there. My mom was there. Everybody was there. So I ended up getting into it with one of the kids on the football team just about passing about water, something stupid. And it was just kind of like, me and him almost got into a fight. And the coach ended up coming back over to me like, go sit back in the stands with your mom, just kind of embarrassing me or whatever. And I went back up to the stands. My whole family left. And when we left, he told me like, don't even worry about it, bro. We about to go lock back in at the crib. I'm about to, help you build your body. We about to work out. And that was my first ever time or experience exercising. So, man, this man is the reason why I even work out today. So really appreciate you, bro.
That's crazy. I don't even remember that.
No further ado. And yes, I didn't even say his name, but this is Wayne. This is Wayne Redman, y'all. So
Like Wayne.
we're gonna talk about, your personal journey, your workout journey. What led you and got you into exercising? What were you doing before you started working out?
Nothing. And that's one of the biggest parts about me starting my journey. My oldest son was born 2003, and I was overweight. I was doing a lot of stuff that when you get out of high school and trying to find your way and not necessarily going to college right off the rip. I was doing a lot of things that tore my body down, and I went to play with him one day at the park, and I just didn't feel right. And I looked at him and I told myself from then on I would do better. And I stepped into a gym. It was a gym called Valley Fitness at the time. I don't think they're around anymore. But I walked in and it was an instant passion. I felt it instantly. I don't know what happened or what it was, but I knew that was what was for me.
Oh, that's what's up. All right, y'all. So this next segment, we getting ready to show y'all some of the biggest mistakes with the most common exercises and the proper lifting technique.
So first thing I love is the pace he's moving at. A lot of people slam it down on their chest and then bring it up. He's slowly tapping the chest and bringing it up with a good squeeze at the top. There's a nice arch underneath his lower back. So his shoulder, that tells me that his shoulders are pinned against the weight bench, and that takes all the shoulder pain and uncomfort out of it when you're bench pressing. So I'm gonna jump in and I'm gonna just show you guys a couple of things that I see that are terrible techniques during bench press. First of all, if you're a novice or beginner, never do this alone. Never bench press with nobody behind you. So if I had one of my students back here, one of my young athletes, I'd have somebody come behind. Come on back, right? So I could show them what I'd have the partner do as they assist. So you come in, have a hand here, and have a hand here. Well, sorry about the interruption. We left off on the pace of the movement. And I'm sorry, no, we left off on the shoulders being pinned back on the bench and the slow movement. I'm going to show you guys that fast pace that a lot of power lifters use, but they're more their fitness level is higher, so they're able to control the weight. But as a novice and a beginner, you don't want to have that weight smashing against your rib cage and throwing it up. But this is what I see a lot. Here we go, trying 3, 2, 1, up. Like the feeling that gives you is uncomfortable. So never use it. It doesn't really build the muscle. It's more of a, like I said, more of a powerlifting thing that if you're not trained for it,
That's
don't
what's
do it.
up. Did you ever play like sports in high school or do anything like
I
that?
was terrible. I was terrible at sports. I was terrible at football. I was mediocre at basketball. We didn't really play too many other sports at the school I attended, but none of that stuff was for me. But I did take a likeness to the weight room when I did go in the weight room, and I didn't realize that that's what it was at the time because I was still a high school kid, immature, doing my own thing. But now that I look back, I know that was something that touched me in a part of my journey, and I didn't even realize it.
That's dope. So for those who don't know, can you kind of explain what a behavior specialist is?
Well, I work for a charter school in Detroit. Shout out to the Voyager Cougars. Uh, and what we do is we maintain the culture of the school, whether it be behavior of the students. We do a lot of PBIS stuff, which is the celebration of the kids that are doing what they're supposed to do. It's just the overall coach for the culture of the school.
How important do you think that is for students?
I think I think it's huge, especially in our community, where they have some people that are gonna give them tough love, but also know that we're there for anything. I've had young men staying at my house, that attended the school when they were going through things. I've given clothes. It's just an awesome place to be when you have the mindset that I do.
No, that's dope. So what is a strength and conditioning coach and how does that differ from like personal fitness or personal training?
Personal training is more like one-on-one group training with people that are novice and don't really work out. A strength and conditioning coach is someone that trains athletes. So I train all of the sports in our team minus basketball, or I'm sorry, all of the sports in our school minus basketball. The basketball coach does all the training for his team, but volleyball, football, wrestling, track, cheer, I do all of those.
Okay, that's dope. So let's just talk about a little bit about exercising and fitness because a lot of people exercise and work out and really don't know what the hell they be doing in the
Yeah.
gym. So let's just start off with the different types of body types and certain type of exercises that are geared towards those body types.
I think even with having a certain body type, exercise works regardless of what shape you have. I think it first comes with what you're putting inside. I tell everybody it's an 80-20 thing. 80% of what you're ingesting and 20% of the workout. You can walk every day for a year and lose weight. It doesn't have to be like something I do, like which is circuit training. You could just do small things to ensure that your body is getting that blood flow that it needs. Just by walking, jogging, playing with your kids, it just has to be consistent. But the main focus should be what you're putting in your face.
So if can you describe like the different body types that there are, like when it
Yeah.
comes to exercising
Like
and why it's important to know your body type?
like me, I'm a ectomorph, which is really hard for us to gain. Uh, you can eat it. That means a high metabolism. It usually comes from genetics, like your family, your dad. I know my dad isn't a very big guy. He is now that he's gotten older, but nobody in my family is really overweight. So I think that's a genetic thing. And then it's a mesomorph, which is you're already a big person and you're trying to slim down as much as you can. So they struggle with more of the weight loss side of it than the actual gaining weight of it.
Okay. And like, is there any specific workouts like an ectomorph or a mesomorph should do, or that maybe they're more geared towards?
I don't think so. I think if you have an objective, that's what the main thing is. If you're trying to be like a power lifter or a bodybuilder, I think that there's certain things that you should do as far as exercise. But if you're just doing it for health and just to live, I don't think it's a certain exercise you should do.
So if I was
Okay, listen. With curls, it's so weird because the angle is everything. He's working his biceps right now. It's money. I mean, it really is. But if you really want to feel the contraction in the bicep, I'm gonna make a quick switch. I won't even go. Bring your hands in some more so that your elbows are in front of your body. All right, bring them in more. To the elbow. No. So let me hop in. So what I like to do, I like to be right here. All right, with those elbows right in front of the body. So as I come up, you really get that squeeze in the bicep. All right, and I do bring my elbows up just a little bit to get that full contraction. All right, squeeze at the top. Nice and slow, all the way down. Squeeze at the top. All the way down. Squeeze at the top. Now back here, how you were doing it, you are getting bicep. That's money still. But to get that peak at the top of the bicep, you want to bring those elbows up more and really squeeze.
So like kind of almost in front of the body.
Absolutely in front of the body.
Hands closer together.
Absolutely in front of the body, hands closer. Yep, bring them in. As you come up though, bring the chest up, tighten up the core, bring the elbows in front of the body, right there. Come up with the curl. As you come up though, bring those elbows up just a little bit so that we squeeze the entire bicep. All right, again. Come up, right there, bring them up. Lean forward, keep that core tight, keep that chest up. Bring them up more, you wanna swing. Let me show you one more time. So watch the movement. We're here, right? As I'm coming up, I'm bringing those elbows up with me, I'm squeezing.
Okay, I see what you're
All right, now watch the difference in the bicep back here.
I get what you're
All right, now this.
Okay.
See the difference?
Okay, yeah.
Bring it up, keep that chest up though so that bar doesn't lean forward on you and you come for it. Money. Squeeze more. Chest up more. Don't lean forward with it, squeeze more. Tear that finger off when you come up. Yep. Bring it right to the forehead. Boom. Right to the forehead, here. Boom. Quick squeeze, yes, that. Now one more trick that I like to teach people one more time, hold on. So as you do that, one more tweak to really feel that squeeze. As you come up, notice how your wrists are. You're curling with your wrist. So you're gonna feel a lot of that in your forearm. What I like to do is when I get to the top, I let those hands fall back a little bit. I let those hands fall back a little bit so it's all bicep now. Try it. Bring them up, yep.
I just realized I never did a real bicep curl before.
One up. Nope, don't start it off now. You want a tight wrist right here. As you get here, boom, bring them back, squeeze.
Okay.
Yes, all the way down. Yep. Squeeze at the top. Boom. More squeeze. Get it there, squeeze. Yep, that. Beautiful.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah,
shit.
it's a different ball game. Yep, now you curling. Because now you're getting the entire bicep now.
So that's like a full motion curl.
Full motion. 'Cause sometimes the bicep has different parts on it. So when you hit it at certain motions, you do hit that part.
Are we doing the same ones?
Same kind of curls. I would just want to show how you do yours. But with a dumbbell, it's going to be different though. And that's not bad. Doing both at the same time. Yes.
I need to bring my arms up more.
He's not doing anything at all right now. He's not doing anything at all. These are 8s. Look at his face. He's not struggling. There's no real work being done. Now watch this. With dumbbells, they're free. You don't have to be so tight. You don't have to lock them in here. So I start off here, right? I start off here, and when I bring them up, I come here, I squeeze and I turn. Because when you turn, look at the bicep.
Right.
Look at the bicep squeeze. So when we here, we squeeze. When we here, we squeeze. Notice where my elbows are. I'm still in that same movement. My elbows are still here like if I was doing these, but I get more motion. I'm tucking those elbows in. Notice that. Good squeeze at the top. Now try those. Now remember, this is a lightweight, so you'll have to do a lot of reps. We don't have our dumbbells that we need in here. But wait a minute, when you come up, we turning and squeezing at the top.
Okay.
Yep. Tuck the elbows in, squeeze. Nice, nice. Bring them up more, boom. Yep. That. And don't, look, watch the distance in yours and mine. Notice where, look at the V. Look at the V of my arm. You're taking yours here. You're losing all your work. You got to squeeze your bicep here. Here. Once you go here, you lose it. You lose it. Squeeze it. You got to really, like you're really flexing. Really flex up there when you get up there. That, I see it different and on that side already. Don't even take them that far. Don't even take them that far. Right there, squeeze and turn. Bring those elbows up though, so we get the entire bicep. That.
Is the reason why I didn't work the first time because he was going to a resting point?
Absolutely. You rest up here. You get a minute. Even if it's a couple seconds, that's a minute. You want to keep that constant tension. That constant tension.
So if I was somebody who was like, especially in the vegan community, it's hard to get more mass, and then specifically with people who have ectomorph body types, it's harder for them to gain that size that they want. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think with as far as that, you have to look at your protein intake. Protein is such a big thing. Even with vegan, there's protein out there you could take to build the muscle that you're looking for. I'm not a vegan myself, so I don't know, specifically, but I know for a fact I have vegan family members and vegan friends, and I know that they get their protein from several sources. As far as the ectomorph, you just got to eat, man. You just got to eat. You can't be afraid of carbs. I know a lot of people think that carbs are something that are going to stop you from getting to your goals, but it's actually a huge energy source that you need during that workout process.
So, yeah, speak on carbs a little bit.
So carbs are only bad when they're bad carbs, like cakes and sweets and sugars. Pastas and potatoes and things like that, those are excellent carbs if you're using them and timing them the right way. I wouldn't eat a bunch of carbs if I was a person that was sedentary and didn't really do a whole lot. But if, like myself, I eat a lot of carbs because there's actually a fat guy that lives inside of me for sure, and he likes to eat. So I just use all that energy that I get from the extra food that I like to have, and I put it towards the gym work. But carbs aren't bad. I hate that people think that. It's just you have to choose the right ones. There's good and bad to everything in life, and that's the same with carbs.
No, facts. For people who are just starting to exercise, what's some ways that can get them in the gym?
I say start off not even going to the gym. Start off doing things at home, push-ups, squats, sit-ups. If you got a pull-up bar, you can start trying pull-ups. Running, jogging, walking, things like that are so overlooked when it comes to fitness, and people just think it's so simple because we live in a time where there's so much on Instagram, and you think you should be doing this for that and that for this, but it's really a simple thing. This fitness thing, man. You just got to keep it consistent. Anything you do consistently is gonna eventually work.
That kind of go into my next question. Even for somebody who's just beginning, but kind of answer both of the questions, what are like the different forms of exercising, like calisthenics, powerlifting, yoga, break those down?
There's so many. It's hard to name everything, but like you said, there's powerlifting, which is more of I think you have to be a certain level of fitness to start off doing. I wouldn't start off doing powerlifting. There's bodybuilding. That's the shape your body. A lot of bodybuilders are doing competitions and showing off how defined they are. And also, that's another thing that it takes time and it takes effort to do that. You have your circuit training, which I do, which it gets a little bit of all that. It's a mixture of all of that stuff. You have CrossFit. I'm not a big CrossFit guy, but CrossFit is a big thing that people.
What's CrossFit?
CrossFit is more like powerlifting moves almost. You see a lot of snatches, a lot of cleans, a lot of pull-ups, a lot of muscle ups. I know a lot of people like to do the muscle up these days. And it's just a different style of training. All of it's the same to me, honestly. It's the same. It's just different ways of doing different things when you're looking at a certain goal.
So this was absolute terrible form, and I'm not no knock and take, but he put a lot of strain on his lower back with that move, and I'm gonna explain why. Okay. A lot of people treat the deadlift like a squat, so they use a lot of quad and they bring it here. But what happens is you try to make it a deadlift at the bottom, so you're pulling with that lower back and then you're coming up. But in actuality, the deadlift is a hinge movement, all right, right here at the hips. All right, so what I tell people is, again, same thing as I say when I do squats. Find a spot on the wall. The shin should be touching the bar, all right? Let the hands hang regular. Come down, chest up, head up. Keep your eyes on that spot. You're gonna drive through the heels, all right, and you're gonna hinge at the waist. So it's here. Boom, at the top, squeeze the glutes. And as you're coming down, you're squeezing your lats. And what I mean by that is right here. So how it feels to act like you're being Superman, that's how you wanna feel as you're coming down in the deadlift. So again, you're up here, and as you hinge, you squeeze, core is tight, squeeze, go down nice and slow, tap, and come all the way back up in that same movement. Squeeze the glutes.
No way. Show him, let him do it again, but correct his form.
Okay.
Tell him what you about to do, because I'm not mic'd
First
up.
of all, come up more. Come up more. You want your chest over that bar. All right, the form is perfect right now. Squeeze here. All right, push through. Perfect. Boom. That's it. That's it. Nice and slow on the way down. Yep. Tap. Come up. Come up. Push through the floor. Blow it out as you come up. That was perfect. An easy fix for a deadlift. Now that all that lower back pain that he might feel during that move, it's a wrap. Okay. So this deadlift is a little bit better because the weight is distributed different. Exactly. All right, but he still is using it as a squat. All right, he's not hinging at the waist. It's more of a squat. So hop one out and let me show you why. And it's a lot easier to mistake the squat with this because of the way the weight is distributed, and you don't have to actually lean forward with this one. All right, so you will come up like a squat. That's how you start off the move. All right, but what Ray was doing, he was coming down, dropping his hips and making it a squat. What you want to do again is you want to hinge at the waist, lean forward, feel that stretch in the hamstrings, come up, squeeze the glutes. Again, you lean forward more, like you're putting the weight down on the floor in front of you, and then you come up and squeeze. Right, again, Ray, with that lean forward movement, I want you to take your time so I can really show everybody what you're supposed to feel.
Come straight up.
Go straight up, like in the squat, and then you want to lean forward with the weight, chest up. No, start all the way over, chest up, bring the shoulders back. We squeeze in from here, all right, and you lean it forward. So it's almost like you're taking that weight as you come down, and you're bringing it up here, all right? But keep the heels in the ground. You'll come up, go back, right here, stretch them as you come down, yep, and then you come up with it and squeeze. That's it. Quick switch. And that turned that move into money right there.
Yeah, facts. That was a big difference. Which one do you feel like is the best for your overall health?
For your overall health, I mean, that's totally off opinion, but I found the best way for me is the circuit training because I don't have a lot of time during my day. We ran a workout yesterday. It only took about 30 minutes.
It was intense.
Yeah, it was super intense. Yeah. So you get a lot in a short amount of time, and it works. So I think that for me personally, and a lot of my clientele, that's what works for us.
Yeah, that's something that I noticed too. Like, the one thing that I like about the workout we did yesterday was the fact that it had compound movements, and we were implementing more than one exercise in one exercise, which everybody shouldn't do because everybody's not ready for that.
Yeah.
But to take advantage of multiple muscle groups and one exercise in a shorter period of time, that's where I always feel like I got the most gains in my exercises when I was just maximizing on the little bit that I did. If I was doing
Exactly.
4 exercises and 3 abs, or that's where I've seen the most of my gains is just being consistent overall.
Absolutely. And a lot of people think that you have to do cardio, quote unquote, cardio moves like running, biking, the stairs. And if you remember yesterday, my heart was racing. I don't know about yours, but
Yeah.
weightlifting is also a form of cardiovascular training if you know what you're doing.
What is the foundation of building muscle, and what factors strongly play into it?
Food. Eat. If you're not eating right, you might as well not even start the journey, because it's gonna take so long to get where you want to be. You're gonna get you're gonna struggle to keep going. You really are, because the food and the supplements you take are everything when it comes to fitness and weightlifting. So I say start off. That's the ground floor for everybody. Get you a diet plan, or just I call it a life plan as far as eating, and then stick to it. Stick to that, and then start slowly implementing your exercise in it, and especially for beginners.
Do you believe there's a thing as too much exercise?
I do. Your body has to rest. That's when you grow. That's when it changes. That's when the change happens during those rest days. So rest is very important. I rest at least 2 days a week. I'm getting a little bit older. I used to go about 6 days a week, take a day off. But now that I'm in my 40s, I noticed that when I rest 2 to 3 days a week, I see so much difference in the way my body is shaping and forming.
Yeah, I agree, because I feel like you don't even really get to see how much you can lift until you've had about a week off.
Exactly.
Because it's not like your muscle going to disappear in a week.
Right.
So you got to really let your body heal. And I also feel like that time away, the way that your body works, it just, them first couple of days back, you gain so much
Yep.
more.
Yep. It's like I think about it as Wolverine, the guy, or the superhero. You can tear his body down, but he has to recover. You know what I'm saying? He's not fully Wolverine until he recovers that muscle, like from all his injuries.
No facts.
And that's the same thing with weightlifting. That we tear that muscle down, especially during like circuit training, where it's so intense for that short amount of time. You break that muscle down a lot. So you definitely want to get that rest in between, so you can be Wolverine with every session.
Facts. How important do you think it is to have like variety in your workout, and how often should you be switching around or changing your exercise?
I don't think variety is necessary until you've gotten to a level that you need variety. A lot of people think you should start off just changing, and you have to stick to the basic things. Like, I would never have a brand new person do a workout we did yesterday. I would never. It doesn't make any sense. You're gonna get injured. So start off with small things like squats, push-ups. Even if it's a bench press, start off really light, maybe just the bar. Squats, maybe just the bar when you're squatting. You don't need a lot of weight to gain muscle. You really don't. Your body doesn't calculate the weight that you have and says, okay, this is 325 pounds now. Now I should grow. It's time under tension, time under stress that makes your body develop and grow.
How do you feel about protein shakes? And if you do use them, which ones would you recommend?
I do take protein shakes, but not a lot. I like to get most of my protein sources from food. Protein shakes are more of a time thing for me. If I'm running a little behind, I know I'm not going to get breakfast. I know I'm going to eat a little bit later. I will pick up a protein shake. I always check the sugar, salt, and the carb load on my protein shakes to decide whether it's a good protein shake for me or not. But that's totally, again, an opinion and what I look for. I can't tell another person what to look for, but you never want a lot of salt and sugar in your protein shake.
Do protein shakes actually help you get bigger, or is it more so muscle repair?
it's the protein feeds the muscle. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it helps you get bigger, quote unquote. But you have to eat a sufficient amount of it. You have to eat your whatever your body type is. You have to eat that amount of protein. See growth.
Go back. I'm sorry. Cause I'm so worried about these fucking slides. I hate slides.
What size you wear?
No, he good. Just for learning purposes. So first things first with a squat. I tell a lot of my it's a lot easier to teach girls how to squat because being a spotter is more comfortable for girls. All right, but as a squatter here in the weight room and as a young man, we have to get close. And young men don't like getting close to each other. We all know why. But you have your hands here on the shoulders, and as he steps off, you step up back with him. And so come on up. You come back with him. Spread the legs about shoulder width. Hold on 1 second. Spread the legs about shoulder width, and then squat it out. Come on up. All right, go ahead and rack it. First things first, his squats weren't bad, but his attire is terrible. He has on jeans, he has on slides. All of those are squat negatives in the weight room. His form wasn't bad though. I felt his heels coming up from the back, but that could be because of the slides. But in the squat, I'm going down real quick, I'm gonna show him. In the squat, you wanna get under it. Your shoulders should be parallel with the floor. All right, you stand up tall, walk out. Another thing he did was he was a little bent already when he was walking out. You gotta stand up tall to tighten up the core. About shoulder width, keep the heels in the dirt. I like to have my head up and find a place to look at the entire time so that my chest stays raised. And you slowly go down in the squat. I like to pause down there, come back up, nice and slow, all right? Again, head up. Looking at that spot you picked, and then all the way back up.
Now, as far as going like, hold on, let me see the mic real quick. As far as like going down to the ground, how far should you go?
So I'm a person that believes in half squats will work. So a half squat is this. Most people do these, especially when they try to ego lift. All right, these work here, about 90 degrees, but I like to go a little bit past my knees because I feel more in my quads. So I take it about here. All right, that's still not all the way for me, but I do feel the quads working down here, and I come up, and when I come up, I never lock out my legs because I feel like that takes away from the work the quad is getting.
To actually see growth, yeah.
When in the gym, what pace should we be doing our exercise, and how should we be performing our reps?
It depends on who you are. Again, me, I work at a pace that's suitable for me. For a beginner, start off at a slow pace. Focus on the muscle contractions and the mind-muscle connection. That's why I never start a new person or a novice person on a lot of weight. I want them to first find out what it feels like to squeeze a bicep, what it feels like to contract your quads during your squat, what it feels like to squeeze your tricep during the tricep move. Once you get that kind of stuff in, then you start implementing the more technical things to your workout.
How many reps and how many sets should we be doing? And depending on like,
everything depends on what you're looking for. So to get stronger and bigger, what people say sometimes, you want to go light reps at a heavier weight, a moderate to heavy weight, for 3 to 4 reps at a time, maybe for 3 to 4 sets, depending on what level you're at. For bodybuilding, if you want to see more definition and more cuts in your muscles, you're looking for a 10 to 12 rep range with same thing, 3 to 4 sets. And then if you're looking for endurance, you just want to be able to do a lot, 15 and above. That comes with the calisthenics. Calisthenics is really big on endurance training.
What type of attire should you have on in the gym? Because I notice, for specific workouts like squats, people have on Converse or they'll take their shoes off. So kind of explain the science
Everybody
behind that.
everybody has their thing, Like I personally believe in the Converse, and all that is you're making your feet flat. If you ever had on a Converse is a terribly uncomfortable shoe because it's so flat. But having a flat foot during a squat really helps you engage with the ground and feel that squat as you're pushing up in your squat. So I do believe in that. I do believe in the shoes off sometimes when it comes to squats and deadlifts. I don't believe in Crocs or slides. I think those are terrible for your knees and ankles when you're in the gym. And just a good gym shoe, jogging pants, jogging or shorts. Me myself, I'm a jogging pants and tee kind of guy. So it's just what you like.
How do you feel about eating while working out? Like I've seen people eating Sour Patches and they have some type of science. Is that a trend?
I mean, it's a trend. There's no science to eating sugar when you're in the middle of a workout. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I know that some sugars help after, but it's not enough for you to carry around a pack of Sour Patches and walking around the gym eating them.
What are some of the biggest mistakes that people can avoid when going into the gym, or some of the biggest mistakes that people make?
Don't look online and try it at the gym. If you're not of like personal training level, or if you're not been in the weight room or not a old athlete, don't try these moves that you see on Instagram and TikTok. You're gonna get injured. Most of this stuff people have been doing for years. I know there's stuff that I do that if other people did it, I know for a fact they would get injured. So I would never have anyone start off at that level of fitness. Stay off the TikTok and Instagram, you guys. It's terrible.
How important is consistency to you in exercising?
It's absolutely everything, man. That's what keeps me grounded. That's why I do it. Without the consistency, I mean, it's nothing really. It's just gonna be doing the same thing without seeing change. So that's insane. So why would you do that? You have to stay consistent with everything in life. You're not gonna benefit with anything if you're not consistent. And working out and training for me, that helps me throughout my entire life of what I'm doing by keeping that mindset. The mindset I have in the gym is the same mindset I have out in the street. So it's everything, man. Consistency is everything.
Now, shifting into like the strength and conditioning, what's one of the biggest challenges you face, like, in that area?
Kids think they know everything, man. They, especially the boys, they like the ego lift. They like to do things that they seen on Instagram, on TikTok, and it's no benefit to it. There's so many people and so many trainers out here these days showing people things that they should do that we get away from the basics. We get away from what we really should be doing to get the bodies and the fitness levels that we want. So that'd be my hardest thing is the kids these days, they want instant gratification, and it's impossible, especially with fitness. So that's my hardest part of my job is keeping them focused and motivated long enough for them to see change in their bodies.
Absolutely.
Whatever you want to do. Okay. So with his, one thing, because he's a decent athlete, so the one thing I would say he needs to tighten up his core a little bit more because he was shaking, or he was shaking a little bit at first. So yep. But he's also a big guy, so it's hard, he's not gonna get too many of his regular pull-ups in. So what I would do, go back up there. You good. Go back up. So what we do in the weight room is we fold him up and we help him up by the knee. All right, just a small push. All right, so you're getting a workout on the bottom too, just helping them up there. Yeah. And you want to constantly, so hop on down, Johnny. So when you do a pull-up, you want all the work to be in your back and not in your biceps. So what I like to do when I do mine is I look up, my chest is up, and I pull the elbow straight to the back. Squeeze at the top, come all the way down. That's a big thing that people don't do is come all the way down, stretch the lats out, and then come up and give them a good squeeze again. When I'm doing pull-ups, I can only do about 6 to 8 because of how slow and in controlled I do mine. All right? And when you get better at pull-ups, they might increase to 10 to 12. But if you really squeezing when you get up there, you shouldn't get many.
How do you help them focus like on the personal fitness and like kind of the at-home stuff? Like
I live it. So I can't tell you something if I'm not doing it myself. So they see me. They see the things that I'm able to do at 41 years old. And they wonder why. And that's an instant reel for me. That's an instant, I could cast that reel out and I know I'm gonna get a couple fish with just that alone because they're wondering like how can this old guy perform the way he's performing and I'm not at his fitness level and I'm 16, 17, 18 years old.
what's one of the most rewarding parts about strength conditioning with the high schoolers, and like was there a specific moment that stood out to you?
The kids that come back. The kids that come back and ask for me and ask for my knowledge. That I can't even explain that feeling being the person I am and feeling the way I do about fitness. I can't even explain how that makes me feel. And I'm talking about kids that before I got to the school weren't even thinking about fitness. They weren't fitness like. They didn't run, they didn't jump. You know what I'm saying? So it's cup feeling. It definitely is.
Has there ever been like a specific game or like
This year, we got this. We got to this school, and the football team had hardly ever won a game. So this was our first. This was our first year. It took us 6 years to get to this point where we lost second round in the playoffs this year, and that was a moment to me where it was just big for me. It was a landmark saying that whatever we're doing is working. So that this year was definitely that landmark for me.
how do you take on that responsibility as a coach when you like how does that make you feel like when you guys do take a loss or versus a win? Like what's that experience like for you?
I take it different, I think, because I'm the strength and conditioning coach and I'm not the football coach. So I get the game, I get the loss, but what I try to have my kids focus on during the loss is think about the preparation. Think about what it took to even get here. Think about the hours it took to because we actually beat 2 or 3 teams this year that we've never beat in the 6 years I've been there. So think about those feats. I don't think losing in the second round of the playoffs this year was actually losing. I thought we won a lot by even getting to where we got. So that's tough to answer.
No, that's dope though. How do you approach your workouts and fitness training differently with high schoolers and adults?
Adults are easy, man. Because if an adult comes to you 9 times out of 10, they want to do it, or it's a reason for it. A kid, kids are different, especially these days. They know that they want it, but they don't understand what it takes to get there. With adults, especially my age and maybe even your age, we understand that it takes hard work to get whatever you need and want in life. So that would be my biggest thing, man. With the kids not having the drive that the adults have. Adults are easy. Adults are really easy, and for me, that might not be for everybody.
I honestly would have thought it would have been the other way around.
Not at all, man. Not at all. Kids are motivated, but only for so long.
Yeah, because they, like you said, they aren't experienced to.
You show an adult one result, you got them for life. There's clients that they've had abs at one point in time. They'll be a client of mine for the rest of my life just because of that. So it's tough, man. It's tough. It's good on the one end with the adults, but the adults do fade out a little bit easier. Once you have a kid locked in, they're locked in. But sometimes the adults will fade out once they get the results, once they, finally get to where they want to be, they think they got it, so they will fade out. But as far as getting them, I think it's a lot easier to get an adult than it is a kid.
Sign up for some time. Okay, so first thing I want to ask, so stop at the top. Where do you feel the weight distributed in your hands?
On my right here.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'm feeling it right here.
So you feeling it? So you feeling it when you come down? You feeling it where?
I'm feeling it in my hands.
Okay,
Like,
in the palm. I want you to. Go ahead, get in position. I want you to first here, lean forward just a little bit. Come there. Do your push-up from right there. Distribute the weight throughout the entire hand. Come down. Lean into the push-up. Push all the way up. Squeeze at the top. When you come up to the top, I want you to watch this back. I want you to round it out. Push it all the way through. That part right there. Come on down. Come up, round it out, push it all the way through. That really gives you that squeeze in the chest.
Yeah, dude.
Yep. One more time, take your time. Now slow it down even more. Going to the bottom. Yep. Push, squeeze. If you're doing this shit right, you don't need many reps. Yeah, buddy. That's a different feel.
Definitely. So
That's a
every
different
part
feel.
of my hand.
All right. The power is all here because you want to be one with the ground. All right. So when I do mine, I really lean forward so I feel everything. I want to feel that floor. I go slow and I come up and I squeeze all the way. All right. A lot of people like to press their back in and push down on their lower back, so it ends up being a tricep exercise. So you're pushing. If you look here, you're pushing all through the triceps. So your triceps are gonna get cooked before your chest. That's why I push up, squeeze my core, and I push down into the floor. And I push all the way up. I push down into the floor, and I push all the way up. That's a different push up, and it gets more of the pectorals.
What are some of the dark sides of weightlifting, like when it comes to burning out, over exercising, or like just weightlifting addiction?
Well, ask me that again, please. Ask the question again.
What are some of the dark sides to exercising or weightlifting, like burning out?
I don't know if it's a dark side. I wouldn't say dark side. I would say there's been times where I overwork my body and I'm not able to do it. And for me, fitness is my stress reliever. It's my way of it's my mental health. It's a part of my mental health. So when I don't have it and I'm not able to do it, I will go to a dark place. And I do get depressed. I do get very depressed when I don't have that in my life. But that's just for me. That's something that I do for those things. So
Now, what about like even just in the industry as a whole, or things that you've seen? You know what I'm saying?
I haven't seen a whole lot because I stick to what I do. I don't really focus on what other people are doing and the fads and the get fit quick schemes. Like I go with what I know works. So I really couldn't tell you. What the darkness of the industry. Because this is one of the biggest lights of my life. So I wouldn't want to darken it by any means. So I stay away from that.
I know we touched up on it a little bit, but what are some of the like negatives that you see from people like watching social media, the 10 minutes, get abs quick? Like, how do you feel about that type of stuff?
I just think that once whatever you're preaching doesn't happen, it kills a person's drive to be in the fitness life. If you're telling a person 10 days and you'll have abs, and on that 11th day they haven't seen a change, that ruins it for them. That completely ruins it for them.
No, definitely, because I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube and stuff like that to where you have these guys who are super jacked, but they might be juiced up, and you thinking that you can get these results in 3 months, and it's impossible. And I think that's
coming from people that have been working out for years. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like you can't promise a person a 3 months worth of work they'll look like you, and it took you years to get that body. That's unfair to even tell somebody.
No, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And we're gonna finish it off with one more question. What is what is some advice that you would give to someone, just getting into exercising and like just about exercising in general? Leave them off with something.
Can I cuss on the podcast? Because I
you.
have a saying. I have a saying, and I tell this to everybody. And it's not just with fitness, it's with life. Just keep fucking working. Keep fucking working, man. Like, it's nothing else to say. It's that easy. It's that easy. You have to tell yourself every morning at 4:30, I hate it. I hate it. But I tell myself, get up and keep fucking working. When I get to the gym and I don't want to be there, get on this treadmill, get under this weight rack, and keep fucking working.
Yes, sir. Well, there y'all have it, man. That was the 6th episode of the Wave Podcast with Wayne Redmond. We're going to be back soon with the 7th episode. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Also, drop your handles,
Wayne_Team HG. That's my Insta. That's what I work off of mostly. So hit me up on there.
Man, make sure y'all tap in with my brother. Get y'all life together. Get y'all workout in, man. We're going to see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace. Light work.
Yeah, I really got this shit in the bag right now. Bad bitch in the front seat, car go fast right now. Smoke dope, but we low key though. Had to give him the okey doke. Like I'm so straight, I'ma just pass right now. Nigga need that bread like Peter. Everything I do for a reason. If you break that code, it's treason. Every one of my dogs, I'm bleeding. Every one of my dogs, I need them. Locked down, free that pen, I breathing. I do this shit for a reason. I don't do this shit for no reason. What you wanna know? I won't lie.